everybody. Oh my gosh, we are so excited to be joining you today and have this wonderful duo with us. Now, you may have met them if you watched Flannel Fest. We were so excited to introduce them to all of you from Nashville. We have Towne joining us, Stevie Steves, and Jon Deaches.
What's up?
Hey guys.
What's up?
My goodness, I need to tell our viewers, and of course we'll share this with our listeners as well. I found you in a wonderful way just by listening to tunes on Instagram. Then I went to Spotify to listen, and I just thought they're magic, true magic.
Thank you so much.
We were so thrilled to have you at Flannel Fest, and we can't wait to get you live and in person to Madison very soon.
We can't wait to be there.
Oh, thank you.
Very much looking forward to that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, live music just because.
Yeah.
You guys, you kind of on your bio, you describe yourselves as sort of indie folk. I know we sort of labeled it Americana with Flannel Fest.
Yeah.
But I just feel so much from your music. I feel soul and blues and even, this classic hits feeling. When you get together, what do you feel? How does it feel for you? And you don't even have to put a name on it if you don't want to.
Well, it's interesting, that you bring that up because for years we had no clue how to describe our music to anybody. Besides, we would say it's good music.
Well, sure.
But we started off very early on. We had our band name was called the Devious Angels.
Ooh.
And we were like, once it got a little bit more serious and we knew that we were going to start making albums and stuff, we decided let's change the name to something more fitting. And because we get the question all the time, what is your music? What does it sound like? We thought, well, it's not country per se. It's not all the way rock and roll. It's not all the way blues. It's a whole bunch of different things. We started kind of telling people that it's town music.
Yeah, that was our old keyboard player. When we were making this record, some of his friends were asking, well, what do they sound like? And he's like, it's kind of like town music. He's like, it's not big city pop, but it's not like backwoods country, but it's like somewhere in the middle. And we said, that is the most perfect way to describe us that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So that's actually how we got the band name Towne.
Yeah, it's town music. We kind of just, made up our own genre just because we couldn't think of a way to describe it, really.
Yeah, but it makes a lot of sense. Like Stevie is from Pittsburgh and just grew up on, classic rock, and her parents are just like these Harley Davidson riders, and they're big awesome rock people too. And I'm from a little town in Kentucky, but I grew up wanting to be in Guns N' Roses. And so there's all this country stuff that I can never outrun because that's just who I am. I grew up on a white gravel rural route road, but, just dreaming of GNR. And so I think in between all that somewhere, and Stevie had a job for years on this like boat singing like blues songs. And she's, big blues head too. So I think it's just like this big stew, this chili.
It's town. It's town. Everyone has to go to town every once in a while, whether you're from the backwoods or you're from the city, everybody likes to go to town. So
sense now that you explain it. It absolutely makes sense. You bringing it all together.
Well, yes. I'm glad it makes sense because forever it did not for us. Yeah.
Well, let's make that name famous. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yes.
Sure.
Start with a song. Let's do a classic hit that you enjoy playing that I know our listeners will probably go bananas over. Do you mind starting with something like that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
We hadn't gotten to play this song in so long because we haven't been on the road. But usually it shows right before we play this, I say, when you're in a band with your ex-girlfriend and her name is Stevie, you get a lot of Fleetwood Mac stuff. So we won't go all the way there, but we've got to do a Stevie Nicks song.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
so we always do this one. Stop dragging your heart around, or stop dragging my heart around.
That's
There we
right.
Baby, who come knocking on my front door? Same old line you used to use before. And I said, yeah, well, what am I supposed to do? I didn't know what I was getting into. So you had a little trouble in town. Now you're keeping some demons down. Well, stop dragging my heart around. It's hard to think about what you wanted. It's hard to think about what you've lost. This doesn't have to be the big and even. This doesn't have to be anything at all. I know you really want to tell me goodbye, yeah. I know you really want to be your own girl. But baby, you can never look me in the eye. Yeah, you buckle with the weight of the world. Well, stop dragging my heart around you. There's people running around loose in the world. They ain't got nothing better to do than make a meal of some bright-eyed kid. You need someone looking after you. I know you really want to tell me goodbye, yeah. I know you really want to be your own girl. Baby, you can never look me in the eye. Yeah, you buckle with the weight of the world. Well, stop dragging my heart around you. Stop dragging my heart around. Stop dragging my heart around. Stop dragging my heart around. Stop dragging my heart around.
Yeah.
Oh, I have goosebumps.
No, gosh.
That was gorgeous. Thank you. You're so fun to watch too.
Oh.
I know you're sitting still, or it's hard to sit still no matter what, but stage presence, just watching you in a little box is amazing.
Well, I tell you what,
Thank you.
these chairs that we're sitting on might break.
They might break.
While I was doing this, I was like, oh boy. These are,
Yeah, so you might get an even better show.
yeah.
Wow, that is so funny, you guys. Oh my God. Okay, this is real life. This is the way it goes. Hey, knowing now that you've worked together for so long and know each other for so long, how do you actually get together and do some music? How do you put pen to paper, words, the music? Who does what?
Well, you know, over the years, I mean, right off the bat, Jon and I, we wrote almost every day. We were neighbors for a really long time. And so it was just really easy to kind of take a few steps down the way and knock on each other's doors and say, hey, let's write a song today. So that was like the first few years of it all. And then, you know, so we just kind of got into this habit of just really getting together almost every day for years. And the habit just kind of continued, even though we don't live as close to each other right now. It's still a job, you know, and it's still what we do. And really there's no there is no set in stone way of writing with us.
Sometimes one of us will bring an idea or like a chorus or, you know, some little melody and we'll do it. And, you know, these days we don't do the writing every day as much, but like if we have an idea that we want to do, then we'll do it. Or if we have a record coming up, I think that's my favorite way of doing it. When your feet are to the fire, you can do it. You just crank out these songs. But I think the urgency is really part of what, at least for us, makes a song. Whenever we write our better songs, I think that is part of it.
Yeah.
Where, you know, 'cause especially being in Nashville, doing the day job songwriting thing, it when it becomes a job, it's hard to get excited about it. As far as really amping it up and that energy being there. So, you know, we're always making something.
Always. And sometimes, you know, now after all these years, it's been a decade now of us writing music together and performing together. And now I love that we have this lengthy catalog of songs that we've written over the years that we kind of can draw from, you know. So every day it could be a new thing, or it could be something that we wrote 4, 5, 6 years ago that we're like, you know, that was a pretty good song. Let's see if we can make it
revisit
again.
it. And, you know, honestly, she talked about those first few years where we wrote so much, and she's totally right about that. But she was teaching me how to sing with her over those first few years, because I'd never done it. I'd been in a band since I was probably in 8th grade, but it was never like necessarily like, you know, singing like well kind of bands, much more like rock oriented stuff. And so she was teaching me how to sing harmony for like the first 5 or 6, and she still teaches me stuff, but I at least have like a fair grasp of like how to start now.
You've come a long way.
I've come along. See, I can be taught. He
can be taught. And it was really, because when we first started off, I was singing with him. So like he would sing the lead.
Because I couldn't sing with her.
Right. And he didn't know how to do harmonies or anything like that. And then once it, you know, as everything changes and progresses into something new, I started saying, you know, well, maybe my vocal might be better as the lead, you know, and then so he would start learning the harmonies. But it was hours every day. I mean, luckily for both of us that we have the same work ethic, so we just kind of don't stop until we drop, basically.
So interesting, again, knowing, you know, many people here may have been introduced to you and what you sound like during your appearance on Flannel Fest.
Right.
And what I heard feedback-wise from a lot of the people that saw you, they said, first of all, amazing. Second of all, yes, it sounds like they've been together forever. But commenting on how well your voices blend together. It almost sounds like one person singing 2 parts. And I just always find that so fascinating, because harmony is hard. It's really hard to do.
It is for me. I know for some people it comes more naturally, but I work for it. So I take all those compliments. I take them, and they mean a lot to me because I've worked my butt off.
Well, you know, what I love so much about it too is like, and we've said this so many times over the years, is that like Jon has like his voice and his voice. I'm kind of trained in blending and doing all of that stuff. What I love about singing with him is that you will get a very particular sound. It's very it is very unique because we're not both trained to blend and be perfect. What I love so much about us together is that it's not perfect and it's never going to be perfect, and it just is what it is. And it's been really nice for me because I feel more unique when I sing with you.
Right.
So it's nice. Nice.
I feel like I can sing when I sing with her. so that's a plus.
Okay, so without further ado, should we have you do an original song now that we
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's gosh, we can do anything, but
Let's do don't say goodbye.
don't say goodbye. Okay.
Yeah. This is one of my favorites off of the album, and it honestly almost didn't make the cut.
Well, here's a funny story about it. Like we were just talking about how songs come to be, our favorite ones, and how they come to life. So we were going into the studio like 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks until we went to the studio, and we were like, we need a song that just sounds good to drive to. Like when you're in a car, our favorite songs, because we spend so much time on the road, are like the good ones to drive to, and we didn't have one. So we were like, let's write one, like right now, because we're going into the studio. And so this is what came out, and I think it's my favorite song on the record, if only for those little moments behind the scene.
Yeah. Let's give it a go.
Let's do it.
I don't know how we got here, but here we are. I'm sorry, I don't know how to fix all our broken parts. Small talking silhouettes are all that's left of a wicked wildfire. Can we still be friends after all of this? Well, I don't wanna ask, 'cause I don't wanna know who stole your heart, who drove it home. If you ever love me, do me a favor, don't say goodbye, don't say goodbye. I can't help but wonder how long it's been going on. I wonder, would it help if I said everything's my fault? 'Cause if this is the last time that I look in your eyes, I don't wanna ask, 'cause I don't wanna know who stole your heart, who drove it home. If you ever love me, do me a favor, don't say goodbye, don't say goodbye, don't say goodbye. If you ever loved me, do me a favor, don't say goodbye, see you later, see you around, don't say goodbye, don't say goodbye, ooh, ooh, don't say goodbye.
Thank you.
I've heard this song many times and I can't hear it enough. It's just, it's so
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. I hope that everyone who is watching and joining us, listening, is really enjoying this program. And one thing I want to make sure you guys get the opportunity to do is to share where anyone can find more information. I'm just going to make a suggestion that maybe some of your merch might make a great holiday gift for someone.
That's you know what?
Yes.
You were absolutely right.
Where did you? Oh, we got it here.
It's up there. So
You're living
we
on
have this
sales, right?
banner back here. We just put out our brand new album, In the In Between.
There it is.
This
Yeah.
is it on vinyl, which looks really good
Oh, yay, you guys.
underneath a Christmas
us.
tree.
We did
That's
it.
us. Oh, we
Okay.
can do it. So,
That's
Yeah.
us.
Oh,
and yeah, you can get that at townemusic.com. That's TOWNE music.com.
Mhm.
And obviously we're all over the Spotify and at Instagram we're at Towne Music.
Yeah.
On Facebook you can find us searching Towne Band.
Mhm.
But yeah, we have cassette tapes, we have CDs, we have vinyl, digital downloads, everything over at townemusic.com.
Mhm.
So
merch? Do you have things like that? If people want to get something like that, get their hands on and wear, you guys?
you know, we did, but we haven't been on the road this year, you know, so we sold out of all of our shirts, and we were like, we could spend, you know, however much it costs to make new shirts and not go tour. And that was a hard decision we had to make,
Yeah.
just because of the money involved in actually getting the merch made.
Mhm.
You know, when you can't turn around and go make it back, it's not like, you know, we had anything coming in. So that was a hard call that we had to make this year. But we do have vinyl and CDs and cassettes.
Yeah.
Vinyl, as you guys know, vinyl is hot. Everybody's either getting their, I'm just say record players back out or
Yeah.
buying one because everybody wants vinyl right now.
Oh, totally. And that makes me so happy because that's my favorite way to listen to music. It's always been my favorite way. In fact, early on, when John and I were neighbors, it was really funny because he was living in this little studio apartment and I happened to move in 3 doors down. And he'd be like, yeah, come over and let's listen to some music. And I walked into his apartment, no furniture. He had no furniture. He had nothing in there besides like this little tiny couch futon thing. But he also had a record player. And I was like, all right, I'm in. I can do this.
Yeah.
And so we would just listen to records constantly.
See, and here's what really happened. So she came over the first time.
Uh-oh, the
she was
story.
now here's the rest of the story. So
Oh,
she's going through all of my records and saying this is garbage, this is trash, and it is absolutely true. And the only record that we agreed on, which looking back now makes a lot of sense, was Rumors. So Fleetwood Mac Rumors, and so that was the only thing that we could agree on. So we just listened to it over and over because that's the only one that she would let me listen to.
Funny. That is so funny. And it makes sense. Yeah, again,
it does make sense.
As the stories are revealed here.
Yes.
I like what I like. I can't help that.
Okay, so if anybody is just joining us right now, we are talking to Stevie Steves and Jon Decius of Towne. They are based in Nashville, and we are just thrilled to have them here with us. One more time, give us your website just so people can check you out and order those albums, everybody.
Yes. So you can go to townemusic.com and make sure you spell Towne TOWNE music.com.
Perfect.
And all of our stuff is there, and we will sign your album for you if you'd like.
Oh, and we put handwritten lyrics and everything, and we in every order, and we also put a guitar pick in every order. So
yeah,
and they're all very much appreciated.
Yes. Yeah.
And let me ask you just real quick, because we are coming to the end of 2020. We at our studio right now have a big thing on the door marking the days. It's not that you ever want to rush the end of a year, but this year I'm kind of done with it, you know?
Yeah.
How has this been for you? And obviously now I understand too that things like album sales and any shows you can do where you can get some funds to come in
Yeah.
Those are important because otherwise it's few and far between this year, right?
Yeah.
Say that.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know, touring, playing shows, playing live shows from the beginning for us has always been our bread and butter. I mean, like, it really has been our lifeline. It's what we do. It's our job. It's everything to us. And it's the way that we earn a living. So, you know, there's been a lot of adapting. I don't know if we've done it very well. We're trying to do everything we possibly can. You know, I would say probably the worst time to ever put out an album would have been this year. But, you know, we started off the year so strong. January, February, beginning of March, we were touring very heavily. We were so stoked to come out with this album this year, and you know, just had it all. We just had it all planned out, and you know, this is our debut album, so it's been a decade in the making, and so we were very crushed to realize that all of the venues were closing or going out of business, or I mean, it's been heartbreaking on a lot of levels. I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't really, really tough. But, you know, we're still here and we're making music and we're still creating, and, you know.
Well, I think the best thing, if there is a best thing in a bad scenario, I'm always the annoying optimist, you know, always trying to look for that half full thing. And, you know, we were saying, well, what aren't we as good at that we need to get better at? And so we've really taken it upon ourselves, really much more so as of late, to like try to start thinking. So here at our live shows, that was easily our best thing, the thing that we were best at. And so we had to sit back and say, why is that? Because it's got to be more than just the songs or just the singing and the playing, because we're strangers to anybody that we see or meet. And so we say, well, it's probably got a lot to do with the stories that we tell, you know, along with the music and letting people into our lives. And it's like, well, we need to learn how to do that via social media, because we weren't that good at it before. So like just today, like Stevie cooks constantly. So Stevie got like a little cooking show that we do now.
I'm not a good cook.
She is a great cook.
No, that's a lie. What I'm
don't.
good at is making something out of nothing.
There you go. You know what? Everybody wants to do that right now. So who knows?
Well, you know,
you're gonna help.
And I admire, you know, I do see a lot of people like jumping on the cooking train and, you know, doing a lot of, but like I admire how in depth they go and all of the ingredients, but like I'm just not that person. I do not want like to measure anything out. I don't want this big long list of things you have to have. And then also, like, this year has been, I mean, we're used to, you know, living on a budget. But this year especially, like, I don't have time to go get like a list full of vegetables and all that stuff and make something, you know, fantastic. I just, it's not for me. So I decided, you know, over the years, I'll just share all the things that were my go-to quick, easy, cheap things to do and not waste anybody's time. Just go, here it is, and this is how you do it. And it's real quick. So we've done a couple of them so far, and it's been really fun to do. And it breaks up the monotony of writing, of sitting in this little room and looking at each other and writing music. So it's been good.
For being there, because honestly, I think for many of us who love music as we do, not being able to see some of our favorite musicians, you know, whether local, regional, you guys, I mean, just being able to kind of be in touch during this whole time keeps us that way, and hopefully brings us all out stronger, because we cannot wait for a live show, and I know you guys feel the same way.
Same boat.
When we can do this, it is going to be amazing. It's going to be huge. So
I'll cry the entire time. We actually went to the show. I'm a crier to begin with. I'm an emotional basket case most of the time, but we actually went to see an outdoor show at the Basement here in Nashville. They had this outdoor, very socially distanced little thing. There was maybe 20 people in the audience, but we were lucky enough to have tickets to go. And I mean, I was just overwhelmed.
Oh, the first song started and she was a water park.
Yeah, it was just like total mess. But it just, you know, you just don't know what you have until it's gone. And that's just how I felt. I mean, to go an entire year without playing shows and giving that part of yourself that's what you do. And but then to receive that too, you just forget like what that feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you forget that what you do
I'm gonna cry now.
means anything to anybody when you can't do it, you know?
You guys, any little thing you're doing right now, you're still connecting with us and us with you. And you have no idea the discussions I've had just with Madison area musicians on how much that has meant on both sides, the giving and the needs and taking. So
we appreciate you so much for doing what you do. And
this is my pleasure.
Another platform other than, you know, our
Facebook
page. But yeah, it really means a lot to us. So thank you for everything that you do and how you contribute to the music world. It's everything for us.
Yes.
Well, it is the holiday season. So, you know, you feel like giving one more that puts us in the holiday spirit, I guess.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love Christmas music, holiday music. I'm obsessed. Yeah, so we thought, since our name is Towne, we should do a little song called Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
It's been exactly a year since we played this song, so I might screw it up, but we're gonna
give it our best shot. I even put up these lights that you can't see.
Yeah, it's hard to see them, but I promise there's Christmas lights hanging on our chairs.
Maybe I'll just hold on.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh,
there you
go. Yay! Okay, it's festive.
There you go.
That work?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes,
okay, great.
It is.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list. He's checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're away. He knows if you've been bad or good, so you better be good for goodness sake. You better be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. Yeah, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming to
Oh,
Lights hot. I thought I was gonna catch fire during that.
See, that would have been a great show.
everyone. not.
I'm like, my neck is getting like really warm. These have been on for a hot minute, so.
Oh my God. I cannot thank
Thank you.
you enough. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Steevie and Jon from Towne. Again, it's Towne. Look them up, and you will be so glad you did. And I hope you really enjoyed the time with the three of us today, because we sure had a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
We did. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so
Teri.
much.
Thank you.
Till the next time, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.